scientist. It's your favorite sensei here, Sensei Mohau, and we are back again. I hope you all are doing good. Doing good. On today's lesson, we will be doing an introduction lesson of grade 12 finance. Ne? So now, grade 12 finance is more or less similar to what we were doing the previous years, simple interest, compound interest, but now we will be focusing on these two things. Ne? So one of them will be future value, ne? Future value and present value. Ne? So now briefly let me just explain what are these two. Ne? So now in future value we will be dealing with investments, ne? Investment plans. Like for example, you have an investment plan that each and every, let's say probably you are saving money each and every month, you contribute 5,000 rands, and then you have a specific period in the future where you'll be taking out the money. Let's say for example, you are depositing 5,000 every month and you'll be taking out the money after 20 years to probably buy a house. Yeah? So it's like, it's future value. Basically it's investment plans that you'll be doing for the future so that you just gain more money. Basically it's more like saving. Or an example we can use is that from for example, you pension fund contribution. You remember your parents, our brothers, our sisters who work for the government, they have a specific contribution of a fund, a specific percentage that they're taking out from their monthly salary, and then that money goes into what we call pension fund contribution. So this contribution is more or less like a future value. You'll be saving, depositing money each and every month, let's say for 20 years or 10 years. Then after that, when you retire, you will get a lump sum of money. So that is what you will be doing under future value. Ne? So it's everything but the future. Ne? So now, under present value, we will be dealing with loans. So in most cases we will be dealing with home loans and bonds. Ne? Home loans, bonds, car loan, and etc. Ne? So this is basically a loan. Remember, when it comes to a loan, let's say for example I borrow 300,000 from Standard Bank or FNB. Now, when I borrow the money, I will be borrowing 300,000 from Standard Bank, but at the end, let's suppose probably the period of a repayment period must be, which means I must repay this amount of money, let's say probably in just 6 years. Eh? So now this means that I'll be paying them a specific amount each and every month, repaying this. But remember, now they will be charging me interest. Ne? Remember, so that is when it comes to the future value. We know that this 300,000, it's the money that we borrowed, and then it will gain interest, and each and every month I need to contribute something to repay the loan or the home loan or the bond or the car loan. Ne? So this is the two most important topics that we will be dealing with under grade 12 finance, which is just easy. I will make sure to just explain everything for you in a way that you understand it. So if you have not yet subscribed, please do the right thing right now. Ne? Make sure you subscribe to the family so that every time you post new lessons you will be updated. Ne? So now let's get into the lesson. Now, future value, what is the meaning of future value? Like I said before, means an estimated value or sum of money at a specific date in the future based on an interest rate. Ne? So examples include the retirement savings, like I said, paid for basically for pension fund contribution. It's also an example of retirement saving. Emergency fund saving account. Ne? Basically these are just examples. I chose only 3, but there are more examples. Basically what I want you to understand is that when it comes to future value, it's all about a sum of money that I'm putting in every month, so that at the end of 20 years or in the future, that money will accumulate to a lump sum of money that I can use, and a lump sum of money. So basically here we're doing with everything for the future. Now most of y'all may ask, can we do this future value investment? Yes. At a young age you can do this investment. Now usually suppose let's say you are maybe probably 24 years old and then you are working. You can say, okay, you know what, I'm 24 years old, when I turn 35 or 40 I want to have a certain amount of money so that I can buy my own house or my own car, ne? Something like that. So you can start saving from now on. Ne? So, but then I'm not putting any pressure on you. I know it's a question that most of you may ask, but feel free to go do it at any end. But you need to firstly speak to a financial advisor so that you can get proper advice on what to do. But let's continue. So now, what are these FXIN? Now, remember, similar to what we had in grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, we still have the same thing here. We still have the same thing. Remember here we used to know that A is for accumulated amount, and then P was for the principal starting amount, and then I was for the interest rate over the number of compounding, and N times T, which is the time, basically the period. Ne? So it's the same thing. There's P, accumulated value, or the amount of money at in the future. It's basically like this VF, which is the future value. So this is basically the amount of money that we will be having in the future. Ne? Now P, and you remember P was the starting or principal amount. So now here we have a similar thing, ne? So which is monthly or equal deposit. Ne? Now remember, now when it comes to this future value investment plans, what they would need you to do is that each and every month you need to contribute the same amount. Hence why I made an example earlier on that, let's say for example you are working for the government, you are earning maybe let's say 21,000 rands, and then suppose the pension fund contribution is 1,575. So which means now each and every month this will go to the GPE, what something like this, GPF, something like this. So it's basically the governing body that focuses on this retirement plans for government employees. Ne? So now it will be the same amount each and every till the end of the period. Ne? Remember, here we are dealing with equal amount. So hence I said an example, since here it's written the value of monthly investment. So which means that each installment, so which means that each and every month you'll be depositing the same amount of money. Ne? So hence why I said it's similar to this. Although here it was the principal amount that we are starting with. It's more or less the same thing. We will be investing, let's say for example, this amount of money, 1,500, so that in the future we will get 3 million. Ne? Something like that. And then we have I, which is the interest rate. And then we have N. So N is the number of deposits. So now N, it's a similar thing to here. If let's say for example we have an interest rate of probably 10% compounded monthly, so which means now we will have 0.1 over 12. So basically we know that the amount of payments that we'll be doing, let's say we are doing these payments for 20 years, which means it will be 12 times this much. Ne? So it's basically just the gist of it. It's still the same thing that we were doing from grade 11, grade 10, grade 9, yes, grade 9. Ne? It's the same thing, although the formulas may be different, but then just have the same concept in. Or I'm investing money, or I'm putting money, investing money, saving money into a particular saving account, and each and every month I have to deposit every month deposit the same amount for a specific period. Okay? So now, without any further ado, I want us to try a practice question so that we can understand this much better. Now, an example says, Tsepiso's company will require a new delivery truck. Ne? Tsepiso, me, I have a company that delivers food, so I need a new truck. In 4 years, I will need a truck. And yet, so this is basically like, I've calculated, okay, in probably 4 years, the book value of this car will be at this particular point. So I'll need to buy a new car, a new model, because this one will be old and will be scrapped. Yeah? So now, which means now, it's expected to cost 450,000. So now, remember the first thing. I need a truck, and yet my company needs a truck in 4 years. So now, in 4 years, my company needs a truck. So if I start investing from now on, which means I'll be aiming to get 450,000 after 4 years. Ne? So now, in order, let's continue. The question says, in order to ensure that the company has enough money to purchase the truck, they have started a sinking fund with an interest rate of 7.5% compounded monthly. Determine the amount that the company must invest every month in order to purchase the truck. Ne? So now, because of we need the truck in 4 years, so we're opening a sinking fund, so that Remember, what is a sinking fund? A sinking fund is basically like an account that we are opening now. Let's suppose we have a particular machinery or a vehicle or equipment in the company, and we know that in 4 years this particular vehicle or machinery or equipment will be at book value, ne? So definitely by then we will need a new model. And yet, so now we open an account that each and every month you put away a certain amount of money, so that after 4 years we'll have a specific sum of money, so that we'll buy a new vehicle and sell that other old one. Ne? It's basically something like that. So now, hence I said earlier on that in 4 years time we will need a new car. So we start investing now. Ne? So at the end of 4 years we are planning to receive or to reach, ne? We are hoping to reach 450,000 rands to buy the new truck. Then now, suppose Standard Bank gives us 7.5% compounded monthly, ne? So it's the interest rate that was given to us. So now let's continue. So we have the number of years. So now unfortunately we don't have the X, ne? So because of the question says determine the amount of money the company must invest or save every month. So which means we don't know how much must we save, ne? So here in this question we are calculating the monthly installments that we must pay or save or invest in our sinking fund, so that in 4 years time we will get 450,000 rands. So let's give it a go. So now this side is the 450,000 equals to X. We don't know what is the value of X. Okay? Then now let's do something like this. It's 1 in brackets plus 7.5% compounded monthly. It's 0.075 divided by 12. And to the power, and remember now, n, we will be investing each and every month for 4 years. So which means, or it's 4 times 12, which will give us 48. Which means we will be investing that amount of money for 48 months, so that we will get this 150,000 rands. So divide by 0.75 divided by 12. So now we are solving for this. Ne? Now remember, what must we do first? The first thing that we can do is that we have to remove this denominator, which means we multiply by 8 on both sides, so that on this side it will cancel, and we will have 450 multiplied by 0,075 over 12 equals to x multiplied by everything. This is in brackets. So now the tip that I will give you is that make sure do not round off. If you are going to find the value, the sum of this, make sure that you don't round off, because of rounding off will affect your answer. So let's find the answer here. 450,000 multiplied by 0,075 over 12. The answer will be 2,812,5. So now we have these two things, and yet we have this x multiplied by this. So remember now, what we have is basically something like this. 5 equals to x times 2 basically. So what do we do if we were doing algebra here? What we will do is that we will divide both sides by 2 so that we'll be left with x on this side. So that is the same thing that we are doing here. So we just say divide by all of this. So we can, okay, let's try to find the, okay, let's do this. We can either do it on the calculator in one full thing, or we can just find the value of this, and then after that let's just do everything as it is, then we'll get the answer. 212,5. So now the answer gives us 8,000, 00. So which means that now my company needs to invest 8,000 rands, 8,068 rands per month. Oh, sorry, and 1 second. Sorry. And per month, so that at the end of 4 years I will be able, so that at the end of 4 years I will be able to buy the new truck that is worth 450,000. So let's test our answer and see if we didn't do any mistake. Yes. So my company needs to invest every month 8,068 every month, so that at the end 4 years I will get 450,000. Easy as that. Now remember that here basically you will be doing this scenarios whereby we are saving for a future thing, either maybe probably a birthday party, we are saving for probably, let's say, university fees in the future, probably we are saving for something, just anything. We are just saving for the future. Ne? So basically here it's just training you to just be a responsible person, a responsible adult who will use the money wisely.